and then if it stops, I got more SD cards.
It's got 30 minutes in it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't say your credentials.
It's okay.
Okay, say what?
Hi guys, my name is Mandii Brown. I'm a licensed clinical mental health counselor, also a professor at Cumberland University and Volunteer State Community College. I teach psychology and criminal justice. Prior to that, I was the interim director for the Counseling Center at TSU, so you may or may have not seen me or came upstairs. Yeah, I am a mom of 2 neurodivergent children. I'm also neurodivergent myself. I'm starting off. Oh, my degrees. Well, all right, let's start. I have an associate's, general, of course, from Kishwaukee College. I have my bachelor's in education and social working from Northern Illinois University. I also played Civic and Morale Sorority Incorporated, rank 16, Zeta Nu. I have a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling and also a master's degree in restorative justice, which is the background in criminal justice. And I'm wrapping up my doctorates in higher education. Any questions? And I also have an honorary doctorate as well, so you don't have to call me Dr. Brown, but MD, Professor B, Ms. B is good enough.
And you still hoop in college?
Yes, I did play basketball in college my freshman, sophomore year, and then I stopped because I like to fight. Point blank period. So that's the only way to put it. I had an anger issue. So I guess I can start by asking, what do you guys know about autism or the autism spectrum? Yes.
Personally, my little brother has autism. So really, I don't know much about, but I know it's like, it takes him a little more to like understand something. So like if you do a pattern with him, he'll get it. Sometimes he has to watch like the same thing over and over again because his brain is kind of like getting used to that. So I know he loves Paw Patrol. If Paw Patrol is playing in the morning, then it's easier for him to get in his routine. When he hears in the background, it's easier for him to brush his teeth on time at a certain time, eat breakfast at a certain time, to have a more routine, more standard routine than like me.
Okay. Is he high functioning or low functioning? Okay. That's how I was speaking. Anyone else? Connection with autism? No? Do you guys talk to your classmates that's on the spectrum or connect with him?
No.
In other classes, yeah, it's been saying
He speaks to me like in Chick-fil-A and stuff like that, and I'll talk to him.
We love Chick-fil-A.
Yes, we do.
like I know he just loves to he wants to be what is it, a cartoon drawer like for media.
Okay. So animator.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
he really loved I think he said one of his favorites is SpongeBob. So I know he's like into cartoons a lot. Like it helps him relax a little.
You want to join in too? I hear y'all chit-chatting. It's okay. Remember, I have mom ears. I can hear it. I don't know. Okay. So, autism in the Black community, I know a lot of people are hearing it a lot these days, right? Thank God for social media and bringing that awareness. But prior to that, do you think we had access to those resources even to know if someone's on the spectrum? How many think you guys are walking around right now with people undiagnosed on campus with autism? Or even in your family? Would you guys, kind of downplay it?
I feel like there's many, like even on like a learning disability, like there's a lot, but people don't talk about it about because Black people don't usually even go to therapy because it's as if it's like a curse, not that it is, but
Yeah.
people act like it is, and it's like they see it as like a problem more than like because people with disabilities can be actually very smart and they actually like know a lot, but people treat them like they don't know like much.
I know that. Very high functioning. Yes.
I agree. I feel like like in the black community, a lot of people do that, like, oh, well, you know something's going on, but we're just gonna dismiss it. We're not gonna give anybody the help they need. And then it's just like everybody like they come to the function. Everybody like, well, you know. It's like, well, technically we don't. Like you need to like. I feel like again, just dismissing it and downplaying it as well. And then it's like once you get to a certain age, people really freak you. Like they really just. That's just how they are. That's like what they think.
Yeah, us as a community, we tend to sweep things under the rug that we don't know. Yes.
I have a big thing, that's the question I got.
Yeah.
Sweetest kid. And also, like when Jordan was saying how families don't really like get tested, get their children tested and stuff like that. We believe my younger brother had coordinated until he got tested. He had like ADHD. So that's often like in the black community, they take any mental disorder and just throw it under autism.
Mental health.
So it's just like.
Believe it or not, they will take any disorder and throw it under bipolar. But that's another story. So yes, you guys are pretty much spot on, right? So look at our parents, right? And most of them were raised by their grandparents. So our great-grandparents didn't know anything. Because at that point, not only do we not have access to those resources or those books to know, but also we sweep it under the rug because we don't need our neighbor getting in our business and talking about us. We don't need to be up with the Joneses, right? And then also that behavior can be disguised as, well, this got a little bit of energy, so let them run around. Put them in sports or pray it away, which is what we typically tend to do, is pray everything away we think is connected to religion, right? And so nowadays, because we are, my generation, you guys' generation, are knowing that these things are very off-putting, this is not our norm, now we're asking questions. But if you also look at it as well, community-based wise, I'm from the south side of Chicago, okay? So I'm thinking the crackhead off 87 is just dancing because he's having the ball, not because he's off drugs or he's having a schizophrenic episode, right? Or a manic episode, because that's just our norm. So seeing someone on the spectrum, families can be ashamed, not wanting to reach out, not wanting people in their business, not wanting to get somebody that help, and disguising it as such, and then these adults are growing older and older and older and older, and it's being passed down. But nowadays, we have a rate of about 38% more people coming out saying that they, not coming out and saying they're on the spectrum, saying or getting these diagnoses to see that they're on the spectrum, right? But if you look at it prior to this, the spectrum in 2013 was split into two. It's between Asperger's and autism, right? Does anybody know what Asperger's is? So in simplest terms, Asperger's is just the higher functioning level of autism. So, wow, like I have, when you turn on the lights, we see I kind of jump for a second. Light sensitivity, right? I have sound sensitivity, but I'm very high functioning. I can do everything everybody else can do. And so if you look at me, you're thinking nothing. But say you see someone who has, back then of course, autism spectrum disorder, they're low functioning, they need extra assistance. Instead of being completely verbal, they're grunting, they're pointing. Same heightened sensitivity, but higher, right? And so it got to the point where for us, when we're getting diagnosed and we're high functioning, insurance are not giving us the same resources, medication, access to therapy, because we are diagnosed with Asperger's, not autism disorder. So it was two separate things prior to DSM-5. Then after that, now it's mixed together, which popped up, well, everybody has autism. When in actuality, that's why it's called a spectrum. It's a wide spectrum. It's 3 different levels, okay? And so now everyone, if you look at it, who's into education? Anybody? Like a little bit? Yeah. That's or
Yeah, I don't think none of them.
Okay.
I know some, probably know some of y'all should,
Yeah.
whatever.
okay, perfect. So if you look at it now, you have the educational version of autism spectrum disorder where you get the IEPs and 504s, and then my side, DSM-5 with autism spectrum disorder. So my oldest daughter, if you have seen, of course you would have seen her, but if you look at her now, you think she's a regular smegular girl, right? Like she 5'8", artistic, loves music, top of her class. She can read and act and operate at a college level in 8th grade. So she's gifted, right? But she missed those social cues. She has that cognitive delay, but no one noticed it because of all the things that she's able to do. So it's overlooked. Until we got the IEP on file for us, and she got diagnosed on the educational level with autism. So that's where all those things were able to be picked up, all those resources. But my son, who is 3, if you look at him, I almost brought him too. If you look at him, he's a happy T-Rex. He thinks he's literally a dinosaur, and he will run around in here. If you look at him, he has all the DSM-5 delays. So he has the cognitive delay, the speech delay, to where we had to do, and your professor knows, ASL, because he wouldn't talk. So he had to go to Tennessee School of Deaf Children to learn sign language to speak. And now he has speech 2 times a week. He's able to say a couple words. He didn't start walking until after he was 15 months old, so he had that physical delay. And when he started walking, he was walking on his toes. And then also, he is extremely clumsy. 2 steps, he's falling down. Okay, he's known to have knots. If it's a day that goes by, he's always gonna have a knot on his hip. And all those delays fit that side of the spectrum. But if you look at him, totally normal, equally the same. He's also high functioning, but okay, sounds like some cute music. You wouldn't be able to see the difference. And so there are 2 differences now, definitely in school-wise. And those who have what he has, that's where you see you need the extra assistance with the paraprofessionals and everything. But nonetheless, once Asperger's and autism separate, now we have access to all the resources. Now you see a shortage in all those services that we do need, right? So there is a shortage of speech therapists, a shortage of PT and OT, and now that Black people are getting their kids diagnosed, there's a long waiting list. So you have a lot of hopeless parents or those in the community who's wanting to do something, but now can't because there's no access. And then also, for Black people, because that shame factor is there, it's generational, it's all been passed down, that asking for help feels odd because you have a special child. And of course, everyone has an opinion, people are mean. So that also means isolation. So you have to think about, not only do you have a child that has this diagnosis on the spectrum, but think about the background and mental health that the parents are going through now. And that gets passed down to the child because being on the spectrum, we pick up on your energy and your tone. So if our caregiver is always depressed, sad, anxious, and all the things, that goes down to us, and that also stops our growth, okay? It harms it. Any questions so far? Yes.
I do have a question. You did brought up about as far as like mental health
Mhm.
and how that can affect, when you have a child that can pass it down towards the spectrum. Like, could it like depend, like, even though you have like good mental health, less will affect the child's spectrum, or how does that?
A lot of things can affect them mental health wise. So I know me personally, when I wanted to get him diagnosed, my son had a white doctor, right? And I told her like, hey, something's off. And in the midst of me trying to find out these answers, and being pushed to the side, I was sad a lot. So I would cry, but my son wouldn't talk, but he would poke and know like something's wrong with me. So if I'm sad, he would like replicate that and just like be under me and sad with me as well. So I'm realizing, okay, I need to not show those, not saying show it because he needed to see that, but also not give off that vibe and energy to where it just sucks in. But a lot of things are passed down in general. But I personally believe if you have a somewhat consistent, healthy mental health side, that goes into the pattern that you have with your child, and that makes it healthy for them, and they can display it safely. So as you said, like your brother likes Paw Patrol, and you play it in the morning, and he knows like when that comes on, what he has to do. Same thing like with my son. When I wake up, I wake him up low-key singing, but with affirmations, even though I could be having like the worst morning ever and waking up, but I'm like, okay, as long as I'm somewhat positive and I have the same tone of energy because they pick up on that, then he's gonna have a good day regardless of how I'm feeling. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah. No. The biggest issue now with autism, like I said, resources, but also for the state, once you go to the age of 5, you don't really get free resources anymore, right? So I'm in the state of Tennessee right now. I'm in Nashville, and for TEIS, once you hit 5, which means you could get like free speech, OT, PT through referral. 10 Care helps you cover those things. And then you have the option to go to Metro Public Schools to do like the early childhood program, which is like a half-day program. Mentor mentee, they'll be in school with regular kids and they'll see how to operate and they'll pick up on that routine and energy and how to do circle time, sit in the chair, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. After the age of 5, they won't give you anything else. Now it's up to you to get those services. You have everything's in your hands. So now think about it now, how many single parents who get their kids tested late and then it's too late to get them in the system. Now you're waiting for a referral. And then also their schedule, right? So I know me, if I'm working 8 to 4:30, where is the time to take my kids to therapy to get assistance, right? It's not. So then think about also as well, being on the spectrum, depending on what level you are or range you're in, you can also come off as aggressive. There's no awareness with bodies, and it's not aggressive, it's just a lot of energy and happiness and don't know where to put it. And that's where you see in the news is when something is triggered and officers think, well, I'm normal, I'm 5'7", this height, this size, but I'm not feeling safe, my nervous system's off, you're not understanding me. Now I'm a black, angry, aggressive woman. What's the first thing the officer's gonna do? Precisely. So also keep that in consideration as well. As kids get older and there are no access to these things and no one to truly help them, what can happen in the real world as well. So I like that you guys have a routine and everything. Yes.
So are you saying like after 5, like even like in school, like they don't like you don't get any resources in school either?
That's up to you to do it.
Oh,
so like
they don't offer those in, oh.
Yeah, so I know for me, since I found out late with my oldest, it took me to literally push for her to get an IEP and 504 plan. And that took a year to get. Right. So not every school has access to a child psychologist to do those assessments, right? And again, not every parent has access, insurance, or the time or capacity to go to what we would go to Vanderbilt to get those assessments and get an answer, because that's an hour and some change out of your day. And Vanderbilt is very expensive, by the way. So if I'm not getting in school, or it's harder to get in school, I don't have time to get the referral on the outside, what else can I do? It doesn't leave me with anything, right? And so now thinking about it, at you guys' age, those kids are coming into college and getting answers and adding names to what they think is wrong or what they're going through, and now it's like, well, I feel like it's too late, when it really isn't, but I understand getting late diagnosis. And again, we discussed being misdiagnosed, right? Autism and ADHD are so similar, it's very easy to make that mistake, because some things truly is just literally ADHD and it can be medicated. Autism, there's no cure for that. You understand? So like there's things that be medicated with autism, but that's what that it's not gonna go anywhere. Especially if you're low functioning. That's where all the resources and needs are coming in. Any questions? Any thoughts? You can pick my brain.
Okay, so this the Q&A time. Remember, all questions need to be broadcast time, so you can put that in your script.
Yes.
At what age were you like, did you get diagnosed with autism?
Believe it or not, I found out at 18.
Did you like, so like you took like the time, like you took like the time out to do it yourself, and like you went to the doctor? Oh.
So, background, I mean, like I said, born and raised in Chicago. I moved out of my parents' house when I was 16. So I got to graduate a year early. But I moved out because just that relationship between me and my mother is not there at all. And I also have a twin. Me and my twin do like
Wait, you have a, I'm sorry, you have a,
paternal.
paternal? I got identity.
We look alike, but my twin sister is now my twin brother. So you can see, like, even in weight form, me and Chris still looks the same, but it's a height difference, and I look more like my mom, he looks more like my dad. But we knew it was off. We knew it. And I feel like our parents knew, but didn't know how to deal with it, because there's 11 of us. So, yeah. When I got to leave my freshman year, I just realized like nothing was making sense to me. Like nothing was really making sense in high school, but I was like an overachiever. I'm very big on books, and I took all AP classes, and I did do enrollment. But nothing was truly making sense to me in a college setting. Not the dorm room, not the schedule, not the class style. I was very, very overwhelmed, overstimulated all over campus, and having work study, hated it. And so went to the counseling center, and that didn't do anything. And then I went to the community center, and they had a site there, and I got diagnosed there. Yeah.
And you said there was 11 among you, like your siblings. Is any of them, like, is any else, one else, like, is on a spectrum?
That were on the spectrum is only me and my twin, but neurodivergent, yes. So I gotta go down the list. Definitely me and Chris. My youngest brother, my dad name is Chris. Anybody named Chris is because my dad was cocky at that point. So it's me and my twin Chris, my youngest brother Chris, and my sister Rain, and my other brother Chris. So yes. So it's about 5 of us that have it. So we're on the spectrum, and they have ADHD, and my baby brother has both autism and ADHD. But I knew that, like, looking at them. I was like, I know that look. But everyone else, we all found out literally after returning 18. Yeah.
So how did you feel growing up, going through high school, middle school, all that, without knowing, like, you know that there's something, but not being, like, just have that?
I mean, I had bigger fish to fry, right? So not only are we Black, we're Dominican. So like my mindset was just thrown off anyway growing up. And the neighborhoods we lived in, I was just wanting to get to school safely. And like I said, I fought a lot, but based off of not only like colorism, but where we lived at. And I knew me and my twin is not as aggressive as me, or was aggressive as me. So anytime Chris used to get picked on, they would literally run to my class and say, hey, someone's messing with your twin. And I would just dart out and just get the twin. Wouldn't even ask questions, didn't even find it. So, but it got to the point where I was good at science, social studies, and reading, but I was terrible at math. And Chris was great at math and bad at everything else. So we kind of just knew it's just us versus everyone else in the house, and just filled in the gaps to kind of get through it. And like I said, it really didn't make sense until we left. We went to 2 separate colleges, and I'm like, I'm drowning, you drowning. We need to do something. Well, we refused to go to the same school because we wanted our own identity. But it was definitely tough because, like I said, my parents ignored it, and they had favorites too, which made it even worse. So we were just kind of underlooked anyway. Yeah.
So you did point out that you found out about your diagnosis at age 18. So
Yeah.
I do want to ask, what was the mindset of going through it? Like, how did you overcome it?
I was very overwhelmed because we're also first generation too, so my family couldn't help me at all. My parents, like I said, didn't have to do with any of that. And I went to PWI, so getting help, even though I had a name to it, I didn't do anything my first year at all. I think I'm still normal. Like, I kind of was like through denial at first. And then when I realized that like my grades weren't getting any better, the way I was learning was working. But when I took, and I don't know if you guys have to take this, but I took statistics, like intro to statistics or whatever. and I'm getting the right answer, but my numbers are different. And then how he was talking was setting me off, where he had me seating was setting me off. So it's just like, okay, I know what I'm doing, but it's just not conducive. And even taking a test, like I was like panicking as soon as it started. Just everything was just not okay. So that was the year I realized I needed to do something, but I was very much so in denial. Once I kind of felt like I could take control of my life and do something, it made it easier. And then I had a professor that I call her like my second mom. We still talk like every month. She made it feel safe in that space to kind of be what I am. So having like a higher up to made it easier.
Y'all other people need to ask. I mean, y'all you can still keep asking questions. What you doing right? Because you trying to get your script together. But the rest of y'all not saying nothing. Like, you got an assignment to do. What is y'all doing?
Since you're in this profession, can I ask like if you have one, like what your end goal is with you kind of being in this space of where you were in this field as a whole?
No, I'll tell you guys I understand the question.
See? My end goal. So I don't want to do therapy forever. I would say that off the rip. I want to branch back into consulting. But as an educator, my end goal is to be either like a dean or program director for psychology or criminal justice, or be over student conduct, because a lot of things that are tied in with behavior is also tied in with mental health and is extremely overlooked. And sometimes the punishment does not actually fit the person. Yes, I believe in consequences. I do not believe in coddling. But there's always an underlying issue to the why someone's doing something. And sometimes it's not mental health. Sometimes you're just a fucked up person. I want to fill in that gap for you. So the end goal, and to still teach, but the end goal overall, definitely still bring awareness, but like dwindle down for sure. I want to do more research within autism and criminal justice as far as like committing crimes and sentencing and competency though, for sure. But like the next 2 years. Yeah.
Do you feel like because your relationship with your parents wasn't what you needed to be, especially being diagnosed, do you feel like you're now like you pour that into your kids like a little more, like you like I don't know if they have like a pattern, like I know you mentioned they have certain things that they do, but do you feel like you show them extra like it's okay to be like this way, that way, or
my kids know I'm weird. That's the only way to put it. So they know we are the weird bunch. And they just know like off the rip it's okay because mommy does this. So like one morning I'll be something simple as you have the music presentation, the PowerPoint, like music therapy. Someone had that. I think it was her, right? Jasmine. Yeah. Okay. So how she's saying like music is healing and everything. So for me, I kind of, they know every morning you're gonna get a song. Siri, play da 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 da. And they know based off whatever song is playing, that baby home. So that's the same pattern I established with them as well. At first, I used to try to overcompensate and do so much, but that was burning me out as a parent. And so I'm like, what would I want? And then do exactly what they need. So I kind of give them free reins to be themselves. Like I said, my son thinks he's a T-Rex. So his room is literally Zach's Jurassic Park. He has every single dinosaur you can think. And he may not be able to say, because he'll still sign the potty, but he can name literally every single dinosaur in a row, and he will stack them up by height and size perfectly and say it. I'm like, you can't even say, Piper or Juice, but you can say Pteranodon. It's amazing. So give him free space. My oldest, she likes music and dancing. She's in the Wiz musical, so like just kind of free space to just have that creativity. And we know that if she is feeling the type of way, she'll ball up her fist or kind of start gritting her teeth. We just look for signs like, okay, that means you need to cool down. Go ahead and take a lap outside and then come back in. It's just, I make them feel safe and let them know like, hey, I see the cues that I wish my parents saw in me. So it's kind of easier. Aware of tone and body language, and I also am big on personal space. So at TSU we had the Tiger Edge program, and those were I had 3-4 students who are low functioning on the spectrum come to CSU. They get to be in the dorms and everything, and I got to work with them. And the biggest thing I learned with them is like, okay, they have their own routine and it needs to be respected, right? And so one client, his thing was tone. It's like he will pay attention to how you're talking to him, and that's how he'll like know if it's safe to lean in or lean back. And so also hands. I know as people of color, we talk with our hands. Sometimes that can be a trigger. Just depends. Also lights. I'm very big on low lights. This is very bright and a lot. Even in my classroom, I keep one switch off. When it comes to activities, they love being included, but also think about what can be triggering with that activity as well. So I would say kind of gauge to see where they are on the spectrum and navigate from there, but don't be like, and I see people like this a lot, like, oh hi, da 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 da, and it's like, don't talk to me like my child. Like, thank you for the happy tone, but don't talk down to me. Talk regular smegular like we doing now. Like it shows equal respect right there. Like, you see me and I see you. Yeah. Yes.
Did autism like give you extra motivation?
Hey, speak up so the camera can hear you.
Did autism give you extra motivation when you enter like workspaces or like interviews or anything outside where something you're trying to achieve? Did that like give you extra motivation?
Nope. Believe it or not, I still don't even check the disability box on any application or anything, because I want to see how you treat me first. I'm very big on that. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm human, and also my motivation is the fact that I'm just a first generation student. So like, I'm first for every single thing down to pledging. And my motivation is like, my kids need to see that. But then when people find out that I'm on the spectrum, like, oh my God, you've done this and this and this and this and this, how'd you do it? It's not that I ignore it, I acknowledge it for me, but I don't put it on Front Street, because as soon as you find out, how are you gonna start talking to me, how you start treating me, are you be more delicate? I want you to be your true self, because if you slip like that, you definitely gonna be hiding stuff when it comes to knowing my disability. So no.
We got time for 2 more questions.
Yes.
As you discussed with us as a newer generation, we view things a lot differently. Do you believe that us as a newer generation are going to work to improve how we address like disability, autism, any of those things, especially in this climate, political climate, especially where media, social media, any of that plays such a pivotal role in how all of that works? So like, do you believe us as a next generation is going to kind of do better for that, or do you believe we'll stay stagnant?
Transparently, I think it's gonna stay stagnant. And it's just because I have gotten to work, and I still do at a higher education level and in a regular middle school, high school climate. Y'all generation, love y'all, but y'all are really cruel to each other. Without knowing anyone's background and what they're going through, you guys are really cruel. When I say I have kids, even when I was at TSU, I have one great football playing athlete who players didn't know that he was not only on the spectrum, but had Tourette's, and was tremendously evil to him to where he tried to commit suicide. Like, you all can be very cruel. Even with that awareness there, I feel like if it's not in front of your face, you don't acknowledge it. So I shouldn't feel like, or anyone should feel like, I should have a sticker stain or a puzzle piece saying I'm on the spectrum, or a ribbon saying I have ADHD, or that I'm schizophrenic. Because then again, how are you going to treat me? That's exactly why I don't check that box. So I love that the awareness is there. I love social media for bringing it to the forefront. I love that social media allows you guys to ask questions and you dig. But it has to get past the awareness. You actually have to start implementing it. Because again, if I would have never said I was on the spectrum, y'all still talk to me like I'm regular smuggler. Like, it wouldn't matter. So I just say operate with kindness in general, regardless, because you don't know what a person has or what they're going through behind those doors. Yes.
Last question.
May not be a student, but
It's fine.
I'm asking because I'm already saying it.
Yeah.
So, black people normally constitute any mental illness to it's lymphomas, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything in like a child's development that the phones can harm when it comes to mental health and disability and anything like that? Or is that just like something black people saying?
No, I think it's truth in it. I mean, you our generation had more access to social media than ours. We had what? Tag, MySpace, Bebo, and you gotta get on the computer and have dial-up for that. Y'all have everything at your fingertips, and it's hard to get them phones out your hand because you feel like you're gonna miss something. So say me, if I had a phone at that time, I mean I did, but it didn't really matter. We had sidekicks, we were just texting, it wasn't internet. But say I had the type of technology you guys had now, I think personally, for someone who also had seasonal depression, like I probably would have off myself because again, it's cruel. Like I'm looking at it and someone's dressed like this and talking like this. If I can't do that, then am I not normal? Is something wrong with me? And a lot of kids do that. And also because there's no, how can I put this? There is no true identity with social media. You only show the positive side. You only show your wins and your success. You never show the negative. So it makes me feel like kids start thinking like they slipping and they only like 6, 7, 8 and feel like they not on the same point as someone else. So yeah, social media, phones can definitely tie into mental health tremendously, but that's also up to the parents to kind of snatch that away. Believe it or not, my kids don't have cell phones. They have a house phone. I'm old school. They gonna call and I'm gonna see it.
I'm gonna take roll and then y'all can let's get up out of here. If y'all have questions for her after this, y'all can just ask them without what else. I think it's good.
It's really.
First when we come to the office, I always
Now presented on Thursday since we're gonna have a lot of presentations on Thursday. I'm hoping everybody who ain't did their damn project. All right, we love it.